Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. And today we come up with another webinar session that is primary current injection testing. And for primary current injection test, we are having two separate test sets, that is Prima series and Ratom 30K. Let us start the presentation. Before start the presentation, just I want to know that if you are having any queries in between the presentation, you can directly put into the chat room. And after the presentation, we will have a separate question answering session. Myself, Kiran Desai, and working in a scope as a product specialist. Mr. Nilay Ray, he is leading the product specialist. So let us start with webinar agenda. So in this webinar, we will understand the primary current injection test. Then what is the difference between primary and secondary injection testing? Then what are the applications and importance of the primary current injection test? Then what are the IEC guidelines that we need to follow during the testing of current transformer? Then this one is very important part for the selection of the primary current injection test set or test kit for testing in a high voltage and extra high voltage substations. Then what are the key specifications we need to consider during the selection of the primary current injection test set. After that, we will have a primary current injection test set brief introduction about Prima series, that is scope manufactured primary injection test kit. And in the Prima series, we will see the specifications of the Prima series, what are the key features we have provided in our instrument. After that, we will just understand control unit, about loading unit, and what accessories we will provide with our Prima set. After that, what is the how to connect our primary current injection test kit with our actual device under test, that may be CT or any other devices. Okay. After that, how to interpret the results after the testing. So we can interpret the results by using some guidelines provided by manufacturers or some IEEE or IEC standards that we will see. And after that, we have a separate test kit, that is Ratom 30K, that is for high the Ratom 30K. And what are the key specifications and key features that we are providing with our primary injection. And after that, we'll have a separate question session. And in that session, so first question arises in your mind, that is what injection. First, it is a primary current injection test. So if you see it out on a high current and high voltage substations or equipments like current transformer or circuit breaker or relays or other tests are important, like heat run test or loose connection test or bus bar.
Nilay sir, I think he has dropped out. Everyone please wait for a minute. He'll join back.
बोलना चालू कर
Just
बोलना चालू कर.
So as I said, the primary current injection test is very important part during the high current injection in our HV or UHV or extra high voltage substation, that is required during the some recommended standards like IEC, that once in a year or 6 months in a year. And for that, let us consider if we want to test on current transformer. In that case, we need to high current current. Yes. Just wait for 30 seconds. Okay. Sorry for inconvenience. So as I said, the primary current injection test is very important in the larger and extra high large substations where high voltage and high current injection is required. Where we need to inject a rated current or 120% of rated current during the testing of current transformer. Also, in some larger industrial installations, we require a primary current injection test. So for that, we require a huge amount of current. So this is important test. Here you can see that what we have to do during the primary current injection testing. If you consider we are testing on a current transformer, in that case what we have to do, we have to just inject a rated current or 120% of rated current from the primary side of the current transformer, and accordingly we need to measure the CT secondary side current. It might be 1 ampere or 5 ampere. However, we can CT is having rating 1000 by 1 ampere or 1000 by 5 ampere. In that case, we need to inject the rated current, that is 1000 ampere, from the primary side. Here you can see from P1 and P2 we need to inject 1000 ampere, and accordingly we should get 1 ampere or 5 ampere as per the CT secondary side rating. And with that we can check the relationship between primary current and secondary current. So for that 1000 ampere we are injecting, and in the second image of right side you can see the primary injection test set is connected to the CT primary side, and another CT secondary is connected directly to the relays. So here we have to give single phase AC supply, that is 230 or 250 volt, to the primary, that is to test instrument, and primary injection test set we need to connect primary side of the current transformer, that is at the point P1 and P2, and accordingly we need to measure the CT secondary side current from points S1 and S2 if there is a one core. If another cores are present, in that case we need to measure CT secondary current by core S1 and S3, S1 by S1 and S4 accordingly. So then one question in our mind, that is what is the difference between primary current and secondary current. As I said, primary current injection of a current transformer is that we need to inject a rated current or 120% of rated current from the primary side of the current transformer, that is from point P1 and P2, and accordingly we will measure the CT secondary side current, that should be 1 ampere or 5 ampere. And in the secondary injection test, in the CT secondary injection testing, what we are doing, we are injecting some amount of current or rated voltage as per the requirement to the CT secondary side, not in the CT primary side. That is why we are saying as a CT, that is we are saying this test as a CT secondary injection test. So this is one of the important tests during the testing of current transfer, knee point voltage test, then current test, then burden test. In that case, we need to inject a rated current, or for knee point voltage test, we need to inject 500 volt or 1000 volt accordingly for calculations of saturation of the CT. Then let us move ahead for the applications of primary injection testing. As I said, first application is CT testing. It is one of the important application in the substation that as per the IEC guidelines, we need to conduct ratio test of current transformer once in a 6 month or once in a year. As per the recommendation, we have to do. Then let us understand what is the ratio test of CT. Ratio test we can conduct in a 2 ways. That is by method primary current injection, and second method is the secondary voltage injection. That is current method and voltage method. In the current method, what we have to do, we have to inject a rated current from CT primary side, that is from point P1 and P2, and we have to measure CT secondary current from point S1 and S2. And by relation, by formula, we can calculate the CT ratio, that is primary current divided by secondary current is equal to the CT ratio. In this image, you can see the primary current injection method, 300 ampere by 5 ampere CT is here. In that case, we need to inject 300 ampere from the CT primary side, and accordingly we need to measure CT secondary current from the CT secondary side. So by formula, 300 ampere is a primary current divided by 5 ampere is a secondary current is equal to the 60, which is CT ratio. And another method, that is secondary voltage injection. Here we have to inject a voltage, whatever voltage, it is not given by any standard, that 10 volt or 20 volt. Accordingly, we need to inject from the CT secondary winding. Here, just for example, I have considered that CT secondary voltage we have injected 60 volt, and accordingly we need to measure from the primary side, that is 1 volt. And by formula, that is CT voltage divided by CT primary voltage, which is equal to 60, which is CT ratio. So there are 2 methods for the ratio testing of current transformer, but one thing we need to understand, that CT is designed for the industrial applications or substation applications, that as per the current rating. So it is recommended by manufacturers or some standards that if you want to do ratio test on current transformer, we should test with current method, that is primary current injection method. If we don't have any primary injection test set, in that case we can test by using voltage method, but it is recommended to do always a ratio test by using a primary current injection method. So here, just for your example, I have considered one CT nameplate. Here 4 cores are there, that is first one is a special protection, second one is a metering, third one is a protection, and fourth one is a special protection. And the CT rating is 1200 by 800 by 1 ampere. Okay, and core is PS. Similarly, second metering core is 0.2, protection core is 5P20, and special protection core is PS. Okay, so here what we have to do, we have to inject firstly from 1S1 to 1S3 by 1S1 means P1 to P2 we have to inject 1200 ampere current, that is from primary side, and accordingly we have to measure the relationship of primary current with respect to 1200 ampere from secondary side taps 1s1 and 1s3. Okay, and if we have to measure the relationship with respect to 800 ampere current, in that case we need to inject 800 ampere from P1 to P2, and accordingly we have to we need to measure the CT secondary current from tap 1s1 to 1s2. Similarly, for other course like metering course, protection course, and special protection course, that is, and by formula CT ratio is equal to primary current that we are injecting through the primary side divided by secondary current that we need to measure. Then second application is the CB testing. This what actually we are just checking the healthiness of our total switch gear. That is, we are injecting a current from CT. Then accordingly, if CT secondary current reaches beyond the limit, in that case relay will sense that and relay will give command to the circuit breaker. So this total loop we can test with the help of primary current injection testing. So second application is CB testing. Similarly, relay testing. Then switch gear, both AIS, that is air insulated switch gear, and gas insulated switch gear, the primary current injection testing is useful, that is required for the checking the healthiness of total switch gear. As I said, with the help of primary current injection, we can directly check the switching devices, decision making devices, and sensing devices. That is, current transformer we can check, then relay healthiness we can check, and circuit breaker healthiness we can check. Other applications, so somewhere we can use primary current injection test set in heat run testing. In the heat run testing, this is basically a type test, or somewhere we can use this as a factory test. So in the heat run test, what we have to do, we have to inject some current, that is rated current, or some 150% of rated current in a programmable interval. So in that case, we can use primary current injection testing. Then bus work, loose connection testing. Loose connection testing means where we have connected our nut and bolts, that if there is any loose connection, so we can easily detect after the injection of rated current or extra rated current. So there will be a spark in the nut and bolts where loose connection. Then here you can see what are the important tests that we need to carry out on a current transformer. So first one is the secondary winding resistance ratio test, current, knee point voltage test, then phase angle error, burden test, and polarity. Out of that, ratio test is one of the important tests which is recommended by IEC 61869-1 and 2. And IEC has given some guidelines that how to interpret the results of the ratio test of current transformer. So here some guidelines given by IEC. Previously we are using IEC 60044, and recently 2 to 3 years back IEC has revised for CT testing, that is IEC 61869-1 and 2. For the CT manufacturing, CT testing, CT design, and interpretation of results, test results, we have to follow the IEC 61869-1 and 2. So as per IEC recommendation, CT should be tested from the range 1% to 120% of rated current. Somehow, if you see in the nameplate, IEC for the normal metering course, IEC has given guidelines to test normal metering course in the range 5% to 120% of rated current. Also, IEC has given guidelines for checking the thermal current behavior of CT. That is mainly required during the design stage or during the manufacturing stage. It is preferred values are 120% and 150%, and somehow we can also inject, checking the thermal current behavior by injecting 2% of rated primary current. Then allowable ratio errors and various types of CTs should be as per IEC specified limits that we will see in upcoming slides. Then for the standard practice, some manufacturers or some users can test CTs by 20% of rated current, 40% of rated current, 60%, 80%, and 100% of rated current. Here you can see the IEC 61869 has given some guidelines for interpretation of the results or ratio error consideration, that is allowable limits of ratio error for metering course. The accuracy class 0.1 or 0.2 or 1 percentage wide rated current accuracy as given. For 5% of rated current, IC recommended that maximum limit of ratio error is 4.4%. Similarly, for 0.2 accuracy class, it is 0.75. For 0.5 class, it is 1.5, and for accuracy class 1, it is 3% of rated current. Similarly, for 20% of rated current, 100% of rated current, and 120% of rated current, IEC has given guidelines. And after the CT testing, CT ratio testing, we need to refer these IEC guidelines, and accordingly we can check the relationship between primary current and secondary current by checking the ratio error. Similarly, for other metering course like special metering course, 0.2 years and 0.5 years. For metering course, we have to test the CT from 1% to 120% of rated current, and for that IEC has given different ratio range allowable limits, so that we need to follow. For the protection core like class P and PR, the ratio error limit is for 5P and 5PR it is 1%. Then 10P and 10PR it is 3%. For current transformer protection course class PX and PXR, the allowable limit for ratio error it is 0.25%. For PXR it is 1%. Then other transient performance behavior protection current transformers, the accuracy class used, that is TPX, TPY, TPZ. These are the special protection cores, and for that IEC has given guidelines for ratio error testing. The allowable limits are for TPX it is 0.5, TPY it is 1, and TPZ it is 1. So let us move ahead for the actual selection of the primary current injection test kit. So how to select exact and ideal primary kit? For that we need to understand what is our exact requirement. So any user or any maintenance engineer have to understand what is exact requirement in our substation, or where we have to use this primary injection kit. Let us consider if we are if we are doing primary injection test in a 132 kV substation. In that case, we have to use basically on a 132 kV CT. So in that case, we know the application area where we have to use this primary current injection. After that, how much current injection required? For that we need to understand what is our CT rating that is used in the substation, that is 100 ampere or 200 or 800 or 1000, like that. So that we need to check. After that, specification, which types of specification we require during the kit selection, that we need to understand. Then other features required, that is secondary current measurement timer. So this is also important part during the current transformer testing. If you see by manufacturer to manufacturer, other manufacturers or many manufacturers are not providing the measurement facility of CT secondary current measurement facility. They are only providing the primary current measurement facility. In that case, we should know the instrument is capable to measure the primary current as well as secondary current. Also timer. So timer is also we have to consider if you want to inject a current for typical time for 30 seconds or 1 minute or 2 minutes like that. In that case, timer function is also important. Weight and size of kit including test cables. So this is also one of the important part. So weight and size including test cables, that is should be very lightweight for the handling purpose. Operation of kit, how to operate, and the instrument should be user friendly for the operation. So these points we need to consider during the selection of primary injection. Then handling and transportation, kit is very very easy for the transportation as well as for the handling purpose. Other selection criteria is secondary current measurement. As I said, the kit should have facility to measure primary current as well as secondary current. Normally, we can see the CT secondary side rated current is 1 ampere or 5 ampere. So at least kit should measure the CT secondary current up to 5 ampere. So this point we need to consider during the selection of kit. After that, timer. So somewhere in the CB and skim checking, that is stability testing, we can say. So in that case, we need to check the range of the timer. Then external stop input should be there for trip time measurement of circuit breaker. So this point is important for selection of timer. Then input power supply. So single instrument should be able to should have a single phase socket rating, that is maximum available substation. This single phase supply is anywhere available in the substation. Then the length of the output cable. So this is also one of the important part that we need to consider during the selection of primary injection test. The current to be injected into the test object at a erected condition. So this part is important. Then height of the test object current injection point from ground. That is, instrument is capable to measure the CT, that is from ground. CT is 8 meter or 6 meter or 10 meter. The instrument is capable to do the CT testing. Then handling and transportation. Weight of the test lead should be very lightweight. Then total weight of kit and test leads should be lightweight, and that for. Then after, standard specifications of the customer. So if you see during the selection of primary injection test, so in the some specifications we can see 0 to 500 ampere rated current, then 0 to 1000 ampere, or 0 to 2000 ampere, or 0 to 3000 ampere continuous. Is it really required for testing in various equipments or various components in the substation? Then 500 ampere or 7000 ampere intermittent, that is for 0.1 second or 0.5 second or 1 second. Is it really required? That we need to understand. Then some specifications you can see, it is mentioned that the open circuit voltage should be 0 to 3 volt or 0 to 5 volt, and the rating of that equipment or a test kit, it is 5 kVA or 10 kVA, like that. Is it really required? That we need to understand. Then somewhere it is mentioned the timer should be present, should be there in the testing equipment. that we need to understand. So is it how much sufficient, and is it really required? The rated that is the instrument 3000 ampere, or the range 5000, or intermittent range. Then what is this? Do I require this really? Okay, so let us move ahead for this, so we can get all the answers in upcoming slides. So if you see, during the selection of primary injection test kit, let us list out various CTs with their ratings and available in grid or substation. So let us, here I have made one matrix for primary current range selection. Normally you can see in the substations various types of CT are present from 200 ampere to 400 ampere. So I have listed out some CTs data, that is 200 by 5 ampere, 400 by 5 ampere, 800 by 1 ampere, 1000 by 1 ampere. Similarly, 1200 by 1 ampere, 1600 by 1 ampere, then 2000 by 1 ampere, 2400 by 1 ampere. And as I said in previous slide, that IEC has given guidelines to test current transformer in the range 5% of rated current to 120% of rated current. So by considering this test current, so for 5%, you can see for 200 by 5 ampere, we need to inject 10 ampere. That is 200% of 5% of 200, that is 10 ampere. And similarly, higher range 2400, in that case 5% of 2400, it is 120%. Similarly, if you see for 1000 ampere by 1 ampere, the 5% of 1000, it is 50 ampere. And one by one, if you see for 20% operated current, for 200 by 5 it is 40 ampere, 60% of 200 it is 120%, 100 by 100% of 200 means it is rated current, that is 200 ampere, and 120% of rated current of 200, that is 240 ampere. Similarly, in the higher range, that is 2400 by 1 ampere, the minimum current that we need to inject, it is 120%, and the maximum current that we need to inject 2880 ampere. So here you can see I have just created three columns, that is 10 ampere is the minimum current we require for testing 200 ampere by 5 ampere CT, and maximum current we require for 800 by 1 ampere CT, it is 960 ampere. Similarly, for 1000 ampere to 1600 ampere CT class, so in that case we require minimum 50 ampere current and maximum 1920 ampere current. And in the last two columns, you can see for 2000 ampere CT and 2400 ampere CT, we require 100 ampere is the minimum current that we need to inject, and maximum current we need to inject, it is 2880 ampere. So in the first three columns, the 10 ampere to 960 ampere, if our CT rating in the range of 100 ampere to 800 ampere, so in that case maximum current that we need to we require during the testing of current transformer, it is 960 ampere. In that case, you have to select 1000 ampere primary current injection test kit. If your CT rating is above 800, that is 1000 ampere and above, in that case you have to go for 2000 ampere CT. So up to 1600 ampere CT, from range 1000 to 1600, in that case you have to go for 2000 ampere primary current injection test set. And if your if substation if CT is used in the substation having a rating 2000 ampere and above, normally we cannot see this current range, but somehow we can see 2000 ampere by 1 and 2400 ampere by 1. So in that case, you have to go with 3000 ampere test kit. So these are the main selection criteria for ideal primary current injection test kit. So that we need to understand. Then cable configuration. This is also one of the important part, that cable configuration. So here you can see in the left side that cable type I have mentioned here. And for testing current transformer, the normally we can see we need to inject we need to inject current from primary side P1 and P2. So from instrument, that is from loading unit to P1, we require some cables, and for outgoing side, or we can say from P2 side, we require another cables. For 1000 ampere current injection, about 120 square area of that cable. So normal standard cable can inject up to 350 ampere, that is in the range 300 or 350 ampere, or in a short time, that is for 5 to 10 minutes or 15 minutes, it can maximum inject 500 ampere each cable. So for that we require 4 cables for 1000 ampere injection. So here you can see the red cables, that are 2 cables, are for connection from loading unit to, from the ground level loading unit to P1 side, and black cables that we need to connect from P2 side to loading unit. So totally we require 4 copper cables having area 120 square and if we consider the standard cable, then we can inject up to 350 ampere continuously, and for short time we can inject 500 ampere. Similarly, 2000 ampere range, we require 8 cables, that is 500 into 4, that is 2000 ampere in a single run. If we consider 2 runs, so for that we require 8 copper cables. And for 3000 ampere, by considering standard cable, we require 500 into 6, that is 3000 ampere. So for 1 run, we require 6 cables, and for 2 runs, we require 12 cables. And somehow we can see some specialized cables are there. So the cost of the specialized cable is very high with respect to standard cables, and the majority of manufacturers are using the standard cables, so that their weight of that cable is very high, and the injection capacity is up to 350 ampere, and for short time it is 500 ampere. Short time means we can inject current up to 10 ampere 10 minutes or 15 minutes maximum. So by specialized cables, we can see this cable can inject, single cable can inject 500 to 5 continuously, and 800 ampere for short time. So for that we require, for 1000 ampere we require 4 cables for 2 runs, that is for P1 side we need to connect 2 cables, and P2 side we need to connect 2 cables. So totally we require 4 cables. For 2000 ampere, 800 into 800 ampere into 3, that is 2400 ampere we can inject. So for that we require 3 cables in a single run. If we consider for 2 runs, we require 3 plus 3, that is 6 cables. So here you can see in the standard type of cable, for 2000 ampere injection we require 8 cables, but in a specialized cable type we require only 6 cables. So here we have reduced 2 cables, the weight of that cable that we will see in the upcoming slide. So directly we have reduced the requirement of 2 cables here. For the 3000 ampere, totally we require 8 cables, that is 4 cables for single run and 2 cables for 8 cables for 2 run. So here, by considering standard cable type for injection 3000 ampere, standard cable require 12 cables we require standard cables, and in the case of specialized cables, we require only 8 cables. So here we have reduced directly 4 cables. So this is the advantage of specialized cable. Here I have listed out some CT height from the ground. If you see, as per the CT rating used in the various substations, that is at 66 kV. If you see the approximate height from the ground of the CT tank, that is the point P1 and P2, it is 6 meter. By considering the structure, it is approximately 6 meter. For 132 kV, it is approximately 7 meter. And however, we are going for higher voltage levels, the structure height increases, accordingly CT height increases. So it is for 220 kV, it is 8 meter, and for 400 kV, it is 10 meter. So by calculating number of total cable length required by cable type, for the 1000 ampere, for 66 kV, we require 6 meter into 2 runs, that is 2 into 2, and and 2 parallel cables that we require, that is 2 cables we require to connect from loading unit to primary P1 side, and 2 cables we require to connect from primary P2 to loading unit. So for that, 6 meter into 2 into 2, that is 20 meter cable we require for 1000 ampere injection. Similarly, for 2000 ampere injection, we require totally 4 cables. We require 6 meter cables into 2 runs into 4, that is 48 meter. And similarly, 300 ampere, you can see 6 meter into 2 runs into 6 cables, that is 72 meter length we required for injection of 3000 ampere. Similarly, if we consider for 132 kV, we require 7 meter. So for 1000 ampere, we require 2 cables into 2 runs into 7 meter, that is 28 meter. And for 2000 ampere, similarly, it is 56 meter. For 3000 ampere, it is 84 meter. For 220 kV and 400 kV, you can see 8 meter into for 1000 ampere, we require 2 cables into 2 run. 2000 ampere, we require 4 cables into 2 run, and 3000 amperes, we require 6 cables into 2 run. That is 6 cables we need to connect from primary P1 side, and 6 cables that we need to connect primary P2 side. So overall, for 400 kV, for 3000 ampere, we require 120 meter cable if we consider the cable type is a standard cable type. And if you see for specialized copper cable, for CT rating 66 kV, the length is always same, that is 6 meter from the ground. Then for 1000 ampere, we require 6 meter into 2, that is 2 cables, it is equal to 24 meter. And for 400 kV, if you see for 1000 ampere, 10 meter cable we require from the ground into 2 runs into 2 cables required for 1000 ampere, that is 40 meter. And for 3000 ampere, 10 meter cable, 10 meter length into 4 cables we require, and there is a 2 runs, that is 80 meter cable we require. So by calculations of standard type cable and specialized type copper cable, you can see for 66 kV CT rating, for 3000 ampere, we require around 72 meter. For specialized type core, for 66 kV testing, we require only 48 meter. Similarly, for 400 kV, if you see for standard type cable, we require 120 meter cable length, and for CT testing 400 kV, we require specialized type copper cable, we require only 80 meter. So here directly we have reduced the requirement of 40 meter copper cable. So this is one of the important part, how we can reduce the weight during the primary current injection testing. And however, we can, if we reduce the weight, so it will be always beneficial to the user for the testing. Then voltage drop in a cable. What is voltage drop? Actually, whenever we are manufacturing a primary injection test kit, it is important part that whenever we are dealing with 1000 ampere current, in that case we have to consider the voltage drop of that cable. So whenever we are going for the design of copper cable, so voltage drop should be as much as possible. So that point we need to consider. For the CT rating, here you can see for 66 kV, as I said, approximate height from ground it is 6 meter. For 1000 ampere, as I said, one copper cable voltage drop is 160 micro ohm into, we require total for one run 6 meter copper cable required, and for 2 run into 2 divided by 2 is the exact current what we are going to see. So voltage drop is equal to 0.96 volt. So total voltage drop of that cable, total cable, is 0.96 volt. Similarly, for 2000 ampere, the voltage drop is 0.96, and similarly 3000 ampere. For 132 kV, it is 1.12 volt, and for 2000 and 3000 ampere, it is 1.12 volt, and for 220 kV, it is 1.28 volt, and 400 kV, it is 1.6 volt. So if we can reduce the length of cable, the open circuit voltage requirement is automatically reduces, so resulting the reduction of the kVA rating or VA rating capacity requirement of the primary injection kit and the weight of that kit. So if you see, for 400 kV substation also, CT also, we require only 1.6 volt. So however, some primary current injection test manufacturers are mentioning in the specification that instrument should have the open circuit voltage is 10 volt or 12 volt. Is it really necessary? So maximum voltage, the voltage drop is 1.6 volt. So we don't require 6 volt or 12 volt open circuit voltage. So next point is that how to reduce the weight. So reduce length of primary injection cable. So we are having various points to consider during the weight reduction of the primary current injection test set. So firstly, we have to reduce the length of primary injection cable, then separate out the control unit and loading unit. As you know, there are two units. First one is the loading control unit, and second one is the loading unit. So with the help of control the current and loading unit for boosting the current, so two sets we require. Then what we have to do, take loading unit near to the device under test. That is for CT testing, we have to place the loading unit at point P1 and P2 or on the tank of current transformer. Weight reduction due to VA capacity decreases. As I said earlier, so VA optimization or VA reduction is important part during the reduction of the instrument weight. So as I said, the open circuit requirement, we have directly reduced and requirement of open circuit voltage, it is 1.6 volt by considering the voltage drop of all copper cables. So however, we can directly reduce by decreasing the open circuit voltage requirement during the manufacturing of the primary current injection test kit. And weight reduction due to cable length reduction. So whatever primary current we are injecting from the loading unit, we require only 2 meter or 1 meter cable is more than sufficient. However, the other manufacturers, what they are doing, they are providing the copper cable length 10 meter for single run, total it is 20 meter for 500 ampere. Similarly, if we increase the current, we require multiplications of 2, that is 1000 ampere. We require total 4 cables in a 2 run, and each cable having the length around 10 meter to 12 meter. So automatically weight will increases. So with this concern, what we have to do, we have to place the loading unit nearest to the device under test, and automatically whatever requirement of copper cable we can reduce. So it will require 1 meter or 2 meter, which is more than sufficient for CT testing. Then so here you can see some weight comparison I have prepared here. So for 1000 ampere, what other manufacturers are providing, weight of the instrument itself 60 to 80 kg. Manufactured Prima equipment, it is 35 to 40 kg. Similarly for 2000 ampere and 3000 ampere, and length of current cable required for single cable length required, it is 10 meter, and for spoke manufactured Prima series, we require only 2 meter copper cable, which is more than sufficient. Similarly, for 2000 ampere and 3000 ampere, the weight of current cable, the total weight of current cable, other manufacturers copper cable copper cable weight is around 150 to 200 kg. However, for spoke manufactured Prima equipment, we require only 8 kg weight of copper cable for injection of current. Similarly, for 2000 ampere, other manufacturers are providing copper cables having weight 200 to 250 kg, and spoke manufactured Prima series weight is 12 kg. 12 kg. Then for 3000 ampere, other manufacturers weight is 300 to 350 kg, and for spoke manufactured Prima series, for injection of 3000 ampere, we require only 16 kg copper cable. So you can see here the difference between other manufacturers weight of the copper cable and spoke manufactured Prima series weight of the copper cable. And other parts that we can see, the total weight on average, we can see the other manufacturers weight for injection of 1000 ampere, they require 215 to 280 kg, and spoke manufactured Prima series for injection of 1000 ampere, we require only 85 kg, including loading unit, control unit, and all accessories. For 2000 ampere, other manufacturers weight including all, it is 285 to 355 kg. However, spoke manufactured Prima series, the weight including all, it is 90 kg. Similarly, for 300 ampere, it is 405 to 475 kg, and spoke manufactured Prima series weight is 95 kg. So here we can conclude that the spoke manufactured primary injection kit is very lighter and heavier than other manufacturers. For 1000 ampere, we have directly reduced the weight 3 times with respect to other manufacturers. Similarly, for 2000 ampere, we have reduced the weight 4 times with respect to other manufacturers, and for 3000 ampere, we have directly reduced the weight 5 times with respect to other manufacturers. So let us move ahead. Till the side, we have seen the how to select primary current injection. Now we will move ahead for the actual primary current injection test kit, and that is spoke manufactured Prima series. Okay. So as I said, how we have reduced the weight of the instrument, we have optimized the VA requirement, capacity or burden of the instrument. Also, we have reduced the open circuit voltage. As I said, the capacity, which is equal to the injected primary current into open circuit voltage. So primary current is 1000 ampere or 2000 ampere or 3000 ampere, and the open circuit voltage is the potential difference required to overcome the burden of the primary side of the CT and voltage drop in the primary current injection cable. That calculations we have already seen. Then how much potential difference is required, that I have covered in previous slides, that 0.85 or 1.12 is more than sufficient open circuit voltage for the injection of 1000 ampere or 2000 ampere. However, we are providing 1.5 volt open circuit voltage, which is more than sufficient after the optimization of VA or optimization of capacity of the instrument. So PRIMA, that is the primary current injection test kit. So during the design of PRIMA, we have considered factors like by considering the user's points, that is instrument should be lightweight. So we have manufactured the instrument having weight is lightweight. Then we are offering all the desired features required during the primary current injection testing. Instrument is very user friendly and offering by default all the accessories required during the testing. However, we have reduced the VA burden optimization, open circuit voltage. We have designed manufactured instrument in 3 categories, that is in the range of 1000 ampere, in the range of 2000 ampere, and in the range of 3000 ampere. So for 1000 ampere, we can inject up to 0 to 1000 ampere. For 2000 ampere range, we can inject current from 0 to 2000 ampere, and similarly for 3000 ampere, we can easily inject 0 to 3000 ampere on any fully erected current transformer. Also, during the design stage, we have also optimized the weight of we have reduced the weight of loading CT, and the weight of loading CT is roughly 18 to 20 kg with respect to other conventional loading transformers of other manufacturers. And as I said, the requirement of the copper cable during the for the connections of device under test. For that, we need to place loading unit nearer to the device under test, and after the placing of loading unit, we require only 2 meter of copper cable for the connection to the any device under test. If we consider for CT testing, we have to place our loading unit at the top of the CT tank, and by copper cable we need to connect 1.2 directly CT P1 side, and second another point we need to connect at CT P2 point. So what features we have provided in the primary current injection testing, that is PRIMA. This is the radically new design product, the lightest available kit in its category. Then modular design, we have provided modular design for easy transportation. Then instrument is very user friendly and for the simple operation as well. This instrument is suitable for utilities, original equipment manufacturers, test lab, as well as testing and commissioning companies. As I said, we have manufactured in 3 variants, that is 1000 ampere, 2000 ampere, and 3000 ampere. We have provided facility to measure primary as well as secondary current. As I said, we have optimized the VA capacity. For 1000 ampere, the capacity or burden of the instrument is 1250 VA only. Then 2000 ampere, it is 2500 VA only, and for 3000 ampere 3750 VA only. And we have manufactured this product in 2 categories, in 2 parts. that is control unit and loading unit. Then we have provided separate LED display for primary current and secondary current. This requirement we have given for checking the healthiness by comparing the primary and secondary current. So by formula primary divided by secondary current, we can manually check the CT ratio and we can analyze the CT healthiness. However, we have also provided timer function, so user can set time and set current and time as per the requirement. Also, one additional cutoff facility we have provided. So automatic cutoff at 110% of selected range. So this facility we have provided. After that, coarse and fine control current setting facility we have provided. So coarse control is for injection in the range of 10 ampere or like that, and fine control facility we have provided to set a current as per the CT rating. If CT having a rating 600 ampere or 800 ampere, so easily we can set exactly 800 ampere by using a fine control. Then Ferrex zero interlock, this facility we have provided after the testing or during the kit of power on. In that case, automatic variac will come to 0. After that, we can start a test. Then safety features like input power supply, input supply fuses we have provided. Then MCBs we have provided. Then power on indication facility we have provided. Also MCB for overload protection. Output off function in control unit. This function we have provided. Output on a switch we have provided, button we have provided. After on the output function, then only actual current injection will start. So this is for user safety purpose. This output function we have provided, output of function we have provided. Then specially designed, as I said, specially designed, highly flexible and flame-proof output cables with higher current rating. Then facility for the handling, wheel mounted for easy transportation. Here we have provided wheels for the transportation point of view. Then trolley with collapsible handles for easy movement. Then additional lifting handles provided for easy lifting of the kit. As I said, primer specifications point of view, we have provided 3 ranges. That is rated current, then rated current divided by 2, rated current divided by 4. So in the range of 1000 ampere primary current injection test kit, we have provided 3 ranges, that is 1000, 500 and 250. Similarly, in the output current range 2000 ampere, we have provided 3 ranges, that is 2000, 1000 and 500. Similarly, in the 3000 ampere range, we have provided 3000, 1500 and 750 ampere current range. In the primary current measurement and display facility, primary current we can measure directly through flexible CT. For that, we have provided 5-digit LED display, so user can directly see the primary current what we are going to inject. Selection criteria that are rated by 2 and rated by 4. Resolution of the primary current which is 1 ampere. Similarly, secondary current measurement facility we have provided, measurement and display facility we have provided, so user can directly see the secondary current as well by on a 5-digit LED display. And range selection facility we have provided for 1 ampere CT secondary rating. We have provided 3 ranges: 1 ampere for CT secondary, 1 ampere. If CT secondary is 5 ampere, for that we have provided 5 ampere range selection, and extra one range we have provided for the any other application, that is 10 ampere. And resolution of the secondary current measurement display is 1 milliampere. And instrument, we can operate instrument with by single phase AC supply, that is 230 volt AC. So this is a control unit. You can see this is our main unit or control unit. So here we can raise and lower the current by using various switches or rotary knobs. As well, we have provided timer function for the setting current and time. And display, you can see in the display display we can directly see primary current as well as secondary current. So just for your information, I am just giving some idea about the front panel of the Prima. So the first one is the fuse we have provided for the safety point of view. Then mains input. Here we have to connect single phase AC supply. Then MCB, safety MCB we have provided. Instrument on off switch. Then course control facility for raise and lower the current. Then fine control facility with the help of rotary knob. We can find the current, what exactly we want, we can set with the help of fine control. Then output on off switch. Actual instrument will start the injection current with after on the output on off switch. Then timer, we can set time. Then timer on off switch. Whenever we require a timer, in that case we need to on this timer. Then output connector for loading unit, that we need to connect to the loading unit that we are providing. Then master earthing. Then primary current measurement input, that we need to connect for the measurement of primary current. Then primary current display, here we have provided separate displays for primary current measurement and secondary current measurement. Then primary current range selector. Here, as I said, we have provided three ranges: rated, rated divided by 2, and rated divided by 4. Similarly, CT, secondary measurement input. Here we can directly measure with the help of clamp on CT secondary current. And for that, we have provided display, which is 5-digit LED display for measurement of CT secondary current. Similarly, we have provided three ranges for measurement of CT current: 1 ampere, 5 ampere, and 10 ampere. So this is about the front panel. Just for your information, for why we have given the three ranges, that is rated, rated divided by 2, and rated divided by 4. If we consider instrument is having rating 1000 ampere, in that case we have provided three ranges: 250, 500, and 1000 ampere. If CT we are going to test having a rating 400 ampere, in that case we have to select X by 2 range. Why? Because whenever we are going to test CT having rating 400, so we can inject maximum 120% of rated current. So roughly it is 460 or 480 is more than sufficient. If we inject more current, that is 600 or 800 ampere through that CT, so that will be problematic for the CT, or this will might be a problem. So in that case we have to select X by 2 range. So additionally, we have introduced one feature, that is for trip measurement of trip measurement circuit we have provided here for measurement of trip time. So for that we have provided stop input and OC/CO switch, and these are the accessories we are by default providing with our control unit. So these are the accessories. So main supply, earthing cable, booster cable, primary current copper cable, then flexible CT for primary current measurement, flexible CT interconnection cable, secondary clamp on CT, then loading unit with amplifier box, then TLS carrying case. So this TLS carrying case, we can put all the accessories, and this will be very convenient for the transportation point of view. And just for your understanding, how to connect our Prima equipment to the actual current transformer. Just only we have to connect three connectors. That is, first connector that we need to connect single phase AC supply to the mains single phase AC that is available at the CT, that is available at the control unit. Then booster cable, that is connector, we need to connect loading connector, that is you can see here at the black bag, and this loading unit we have put in the black bag, and that we need to kept on a CT tank with the help of belt. And here you can see the red cable we have connected at point P1 and P2 that we need to pass through loading CT, and directly we can connect P1 and P2. So other remaining things that primary current measurement, Rogowski coil we have provided, then interconnection cable between control unit to CT clamp on CT that we need to connect. Instrument is very simple for the operation as well as for connection point of view. So these are our some installations. At the 220 kV we have successfully tested CT, as well as 132 kV CT we successfully tested. Similarly, the last image you can see the 32 kV CT connections. The interpretation of results, we can calculate the CT ratio by formula primary current divided by secondary current, and we can check the relationship between them. Also, we can compare the with the factory test report, and we can find out the ratio error occurred as per the factory test reports. If there is any deviation between the factory test report and obtained result, calculate the ratio error. Similarly, we can compare the ratio errors as per the organization standard practice or guidelines given. And as I said, IC 61869, you can refer for checking the percentage error. So these are the methods for the interpretation of the results. So let us move ahead for the next product series, that is next product set, that is primary current injection test kit Ratom 30K. Basically, Ratom 30K is manufactured by manufactured by our principal, and the range. Let us see the the primary current injection test kit. What are the specifications and how it will be useful for the testing of high current requirement application. You see, this instrument is capable to inject maximum 30,000 ampere AC current, as well as this instrument is capable to inject 600 ampere DC. We have configured this product in two categories, that is up to 15,000 ampere and 30,000 ampere as per the requirement. Then what are the applications of Ratom 30K? We can see we can test CT ratio, then we can check CT polarity, we can also demagnetize the CT. Then what test we can do on a circuit breaker? So for the DC application point of view, we require a DC current for testing circuit breaker. So in that case, we have provided DC current up to 6,000 ampere. Then we can measure the operating time of the circuit breaker with high current. So this instrument is capable to or suitable to 765 or 400 and 220 or 132 kV UHV substations as well. Then what measurement and display parameters we can measure? Current injection time, then voltage we can measure, that is the secondary voltage that is required for the CT testing, that also we can measure with the help of Ratom 30K. Then primary and secondary current measurement facility we have provided. Then phase angle measurement facility is available. Active power we can measure, reactive power we can measure, apparent power also we can measure. Then resistance, impedance and reactance, these parameters also we can measure with the help of Ratom 30K. And another optional accessory that we need to we can provide, the weight of that accessory is 1 kg, that is Ratometer M2. So all the parameters we can easily test. So here you can see the current, then time, voltage, then phase angle, then polarity, then active power, reactive power, apparent power, then resistance of the CT secondary, impedance, reactance, then power factor. So all the parameters we can check with this instrument. So this is very advanced instrument available with us. So which includes inbuilt voltmeter is there, inbuilt primary ammeter, inbuilt secondary ammeter is there, digital timer is there for measurement of trip time, for measurement of current injection time. Phase angle meter we have provided for checking the phase angle as well as polarity. So these are the specifications and features are available in the RETOM 30K. For that, we have provided separate control unit and loading unit. Optional rectifier unit we are providing for DC current applications. So this rectifier unit can inject up to 6000 ampere. Instrument is fully automatic. We can reduce the time for the testing. Compatible, portable, and lightweight instrument is there. That is 30K kiloampere. That is 30,000 kiloampere. The weight of instrument series it is 120 kg maximum 120 kg. So by calculation you can see we can per kg. So this is main important thing that we need to consider. The weight of the control unit is only 30 kg. Weight of loading unit is only 45 kg. Continuously variable output current is there for injection of the current. Then adjustable injection time ranges we have provided. So user can define a time or set a time as per the requirement. Then fine and coarse control adjustment we have provided the various steps or stages for the increasing or decreasing the current. Instrument is fully automatic. Then external current measurement range, as I said, for CT or any related test we can conduct, and for that we have provided external current measurement facility, and this instrument is capable to measure the current up to 20 ampere. Similarly, external voltage measurement facility we have provided, so we can measure up to 500 volt. So measurement of phase angle, as I said, so we can measure the phase angle between any two currents, primary and secondary, or we can measure the phase angle between voltages, primary and secondary, as well as we can measure the phase angle between current and voltages. So these three phase angles we can measure easily with this instrument. So instrument is microprocessor controlled. Operation of the instrument is from single phase 230 volt AC or 400 volt two phase at 50 Hz is possible. Then standalone operation with inbuilt LCD display we have provided. Auto cutoff upon tripping relay, this facility we have provided. Then field mounted trolley for easy transportation. So these are the specifications and features that provided in RETOM 30K. So for 1500 ampere of current, in that case we need to select one control unit and one loading unit, that is one transformer unit. If you want to go for 30,000 ampere AC current, in that case we need to select loading unit and two transformer units or loading units. And if you want full set, that is for injection up to 30,000 ampere AC and 6,000 ampere DC, in that case we have to go for control unit plus two transformer units plus one rectifier unit. So this is for your information that the instrument is capable to inject 30,000 ampere with two two loading units and 15,000 ampere with one loading unit. And as per the connections, we can increase and decrease the open circuit voltage as well as current. So these selections we have provided, so user can directly set the connections of the winding in series way or in parallel way as per the requirement of the current and requirement of open circuit voltage. So other applications, major applications of RETOM 30K that can measure the primary current testing of relay protection, automatic circuit breaker test, as I said, operating time and time interval zone of the disconnector operating time in a overload current zone,
Retom 30K is very suitable for the same. Then as per the point of view, current transformers in relay protection, the transformation ratio, that is the primary and secondary current measurement facility we have provided. Polarity or phasing by means of AC current. CT load nature we can check. As I said, that impedance, reactance, and resistance parameters we can measure, and we can find out the CT load nature. So this is all about from my side regarding primary current injection testing, and for that Scope manufactured Prima series and our principal manufactured Retom 30K. For any further queries or related information, do feel free to contact us on mentioned mail IDs. You can contact us on sales for sales and product information release inquiries or queries us on marketing@scopetnm.com. Similarly, for after sales related information, you can mail us on service@scopetnm.com. For any technical queries, you can directly mail us on ps@scopetnm.com.
Now, so far as thanks Kiran for covering the subject, and regarding the questions, we have received one question from Mr. Suraj More, that what is the difference between the standard and special cable which helps in reducing length and weight. Now this length and weight, the length reduction, the special cable is not helping. How it is helping is that as we are using the special cable, the current carrying capacity of the special cables are much higher than the normal standard cables which are readily available in the market. Because if we take out any of the specification, whether it is Havells or RR cable or any of the standard manufacturers, so we will be getting 120 square mm cables will be rating around 300 or 350 ampere continuous rated, which can be easily carry around 500 ampere for a shorter duration, as told by Kiran, for 10 or 15 minutes or so, and after that they will be getting the heating effect visible. Now the special cables which we are using, that is special on various aspects. Number one, the current carrying capacity is much higher. The standard current carrying capacity of those cables are around 500 amps to 550 amps for 120 ampere, 120 square mm cable. How we have achieved it? Obviously, there is some technical secret which I cannot say, but it is not that much of a secret also. If you find out the things, there are various ways and means in the manufacturing technology. Obviously, the cost is going to higher. That's true, but we a much better current rating as we are using. So the cost of these cables are a bit higher, but we are getting the higher current density, and the copper quality is much better. So the resistance of these cables are much lesser than the standard cables, and they, with some special technology used, they are using increasing the current density of the cable, so we can get a much higher current rating. Now the moment we are talking about the reduction of the weight and length of the cable, as explained by Kiran, if you can go back to that specific slide where we have shown the cable diagrams, number of cables. Just one sec, sir. So what we have done, that the moment we are using the specialized cables, the number of, as the current density is increasing, we require lesser number of parallel cables as shown in the slide. For 1000 ampere, we are not being able to achieve any bigger zone. Yeah. So in this one, as you can see, in the 1000 ampere cable kit, we are not being able to, because in both the cases, we require more than one cable. Because whether it is a standard cable or a specialized cable, we have to give two parallel cables to carry 1000 ampere. But the moment we are going to the 2000 ampere range, with a standard cable, we require 2000 ampere by 500 ampere. So we require four parallel cables for sending the current from the kit to the P1 terminal and another four cables from P2 terminal to the kit. So we require 8 cables. But if we divide 2000 by 800, so roughly we are getting 2 point something. So with the 3 parallel cables for one for going to the current and 3 for downward current. So with the 6 cables only, we can send 2000 ampere. And similarly for 3000 ampere, we can reduce 4 numbers of cable. 4 cables are only required for going up and 4 cables for down. So total 8 cables we require. So by this way, we are reducing the number of cables. So total length of the cable, whatever we require, next slide, that is getting reduced. As you can see over here in the special standard cable section, we have multiplied by the numbers over here in the 1000 ampere zone, it is 1 and 7. But in case of 2000 ampere, here in this section, as you can see, we require, for the standard cable, we require 4 numbers of cable only. Whereas for 2000 ampere zone, with the special cable, we require only parallel 3 cables. So multiplied by 3. So this is the way we are reducing the total length required for the cable. As we are reducing the length of the total cable, so we are being able to reduce the total weight. One more thing is that, as I have mentioned in the chat, then these special cables along with a special insulation, because those are special type of insulation which we have used, that is also known as the class F insulation with high flexibility. So this highly flexible and class F insulation is fire retardant. So what is happening, even with a single cable itself, we can carry even 1000, but we are not done that. Still, what will be the benefit? That cables will not get heated. That is the number one. And number two is that due to the high flexibility, the maneuvering of the cables will be much more easier. And I can say proudly that the cables which we are supplying along with our Prima kit is the bending radius of 120 square mm cable is around, I am talking, if I make a circle just like a cable like this, so this radius, this diameter will be hardly, for our primary injection cable, this diameter will be hardly 4 to 6 inches maximum. For even within 4 inches you can bend it. That is the flexibility what we could achieve with the special cables. So this is regarding the question which you have asked for the special cable and the standard cable. Is there any other question would like to love to listen from your sides regarding the questions? Mr. Shashikant Ram has asked for to share the PPT. Sir, we have kept the link of the feedback form. Once you are filling up the feedback form, you will get the handout after filling up the feedback form, or you will be once those people who will be submitting the feedback form will be sharing those handouts as a response mail. So you will be getting all those details once after filling up the thing. So we request you to please fill up the feedback form. If there is any other question, we can answer the same. If there is no other question, we would like to thank all our customers so that because tomorrow is the Teachers' Day, and in scope always we are learning from the field only, and if we are learning from the field, at that time the teachers are nobody else to whom we are selling the kit, that is all the customers of ours. So from the entire scope team, we would like to give you a special thanks for teaching us all the challenges what you are getting, sharing those challenges so that we can learn and develop something for the power sector. Mr. Suraj More has asked for one more thing. One more part is matching current density as per standard. Yes, sir. That is there because the normal, if we, the current standard, if we are talking about for part square mm as a thumb rule, people are considering around 4 to 8 amperes per square mm. So if we talk about 120 square mm, so we can go up to 960 ampere, but that is for the open cable. So that's the reason we have, and 960 is the theoretical value when we are keeping the open barren cable. The moment we are putting the insulation, that current density will be coming down, and that's the reason we are talking about 750 to 800 ampere for a shorter duration. And continuous current density is around 550. And 550 is coming, it is just above 4, because if we talk about 120 square mm multiplied by 4, that means 480 amperes. So when we are using the standard cables, that current density is actual current density, they are considering just below 4, considering the safety aspect, because the cable heating used to take place, and the normal PVC can withstand up to a certain temperature, maybe 60 degree, 70 degree. But the class F insulation, when we are talking about, they can withstand up to 200 degrees. So from that angle, we can go a bit higher current density and we can achieve more. So theoretically, we can go up to 960 ampere with a 120 square mm cable. Rather, to be very frank, we are using 125 square mm cable, not 120 also. 120 is the industry standard, we are using 125 square mm. So with that one, we are reaching up to 550 as a continuous rated. Continuous means I am talking about really continuous, and for a short time when I am talking, that is around 10 to 15 minutes as a short time. Hope I could clear you, sir.